Okay, guys, so this is gonna be another episode, but I'm gonna be treating just one case. How to treat it. This is going to be a case of a dead set system. You have a 5 kVA MKS that doesn't come up. Yeah, normal 5 kVA that doesn't come up. It's not just restricted to 5 kVA. Any hybrid system that, that looks like maybe uses this kind of panel, and you just turn it on and then nothing happens, no lights, no display, no nothing. Basically what happens is that there's battery connection, but the power that is being generated is not getting to a control card, which is always plugged here. It's always plugged here. That's the control card socket. So if that is the case, how you should confirm that that is the case is that you measure this terminal, the negative and the positive, and be sure that everything is okay. And also, you should check that you have supply voltage to this transformer. So if that is true, there are step by step to check that problem. Make sure that you have this switch on. Set your multimeter to volt mode. Test the output of this transformer. This is the rectifier stage. So that's where you have the different voltage. These are the capacitors that filters them. So check the legs of these capacitors to confirm that okay, for instance, in this case we would have just checked here. This is the capacitor. We will just check these terminals. We will check here and here across that small tiny ceramic capacitor. We'll be able to tell if there's voltage there or not. If there's no voltage at that point, then that means there are two things that are possible. It's either there is no generation, or there is generation but it's being shorted somewhere. So for you to eliminate the fact that there is no generation, if you want to be sure there is generation, you can inject in 12 volts to that line. If you inject 12 volts and then the 12 volt is still available and you are sure there's no short circuit, that means that this circuit, it's bad. But on very rare occasion that I've seen this circuit bad, it doesn't get bad easily. Yes, but if that's the case, there are a few things you can look out for, which I am going to share. If that is the case, you should look out for this resistor right here. This resistor, sorry for my blurry camera. This resistor is most likely going to fail, and if that's the case, you will also have to replace this as well as this. Once you have replaced those two, test and be sure that these two reddish resistors are also fine. Also rotate, come behind here and ensure that there is no resistor around here that is burnt. You can see R2280, 2270, 212, 213. Make sure that they are all fine. And if they are all fine, then replacing those components will solve the problem. That's one. Then two, the most common one is that this stage is working. This transformer is pulsing, is bringing out output, but the output gets shorted. If the output of this guy will be shorted, there are two possible places that you should check, and it is going to be very obvious that it is short circuit. Look, you can look at this. If you notice a bulging on the capacitor, it's a case of short circuiting. So what you should do is check out for this space of transistors as well as this space of transistors. If this fails or this fails, it is going to force this power supply circuit to go into failure mode. So when it goes into failure mode, that means it's not going to be able to generate enough voltage, usually 12 volts, which will then be regulated by this linear regulator and then pass the supply to this spot where the control card will see the voltage and use it to do the startup operations. So if you have such a situation, how to troubleshoot it? You can follow the steps I've described. Make sure there's voltage reaching this chip. Make sure this resistor is not burnt. Make sure these two reddish resistors are also not burnt. If the resistors are burnt, replace the IC, replace the MOSFETs that is here, and that's going to resolve the issue. But also, if this should blow up, you should also look for a short circuit in the output section because it's definitely what will cause this to get burnt. Thank you. If you have any problem, you can make use of the comment section. If the video is helpful to you, please subscribe and give us a thumb up. Thank you. See you next time.